We created a lot of open shots. Which brings me to my next question. The 3-point attempts. The Boston Celtics last season took a lot of flack for the amount of 3-pointers they took in certain losses. Now that the Knicks have changed their system, we are primed to be getting that same type of scrutiny with losses like this. Tonight, the Knicks shot 54 threes. This is the most threes we shot in franchise history. A lot of those threes were wide open. Wide open. I mean, wide open. There was a couple that wasn't, but there was a lot of wide open threes. So systematically, it seems like the system works. But when the threes aren't dropping, is it time to change the scheme a little bit?
Well, me personally, you already know where I'm gonna go with this because I talk about it a lot of times. Although the quality of threes the Knicks took were good quality threes, I'm not gonna act like Knicks were just taking a bunch of bad threes all game and and things of that nature. They did take good threes for the majority of the game, but I am a person that believes that if you have a strategy and that strategy is not working, if you're taking a bunch of threes and you see nobody has it, I do think you need to switch it up a bit and be like, okay, let's try to get easy baskets in another way. Although it's tough because Miami it does have a pretty big front line and things of that nature. So you can't just simply be like, yeah, let's drive to the basket and just attack the rim on every possession and things of that nature. So I do understand that aspect of it, but I do think that there's other parts of the game that you can implement to try to to get guys easier shots or to get them going in other ways. Like you can run plays for players, and maybe take like a mid-range shot, get them open mid-range shot and things of that nature, like get them easier shots so they can get a rhythm at least and then see afterwards if the threes are going to fall afterwards. So although, yes, the Knicks took a lot of good threes, but I also believe that if the threes aren't falling, try to do other things to get baskets and see if you can get these guys into a rhythm so that when you kick the ball around for those open threes again, hopefully then it'll go in because you're doing other things to get guys going as opposed to just taking threes and just seeing them brick everything.
Man, that's a great question. I'm still thinking about it.
That's all right. I'll give my thoughts while you ponder that. I'm with you a little bit, Ryan G. Here's the thing, though. Eric Spoelstra is a great coach. The Heat, great coach team. We had a lot of open threes, but I feel like a lot of that was also by design because I don't know if you're watching the game, the paint was packed a lot. So I know there's going to be a certain crowd that says, "Well, we should attack the paint more. We should attack the paint more." There was a few times where Jordan Clarkson got into the teeth of the paint and had to revert to like a double clutch reverse because they collapsed on you. So and then he scouted us. They got deep into the paint and they ran straight to the corners after a while to intercept those corner passes. So it's like part of me is like maybe it's us still learning the system. But I also agree with you, Ryan G. This is the mid-range shot, man. I think we still have a lot of great mid-range shooters here. When the paint is clogged like that and the threes aren't dropping, maybe we try to throw something up to the mid-range. Mikal Bridges in particular was really good in the mid-range today. He's just really all over the place, really. So maybe that's the answer. I don't fault. This is one of those offensive losses where I don't really fault the Knicks. I'll take it. I'll take the missed shots. We had great shots and a lot of great processes. The turnovers, though, from I think getting so deep in the paint and trying to kick it out hurt us bad. So maybe we have to improve our reads. But I agree with Ryan G a little bit that we should kind of alter or try to find a medium if the paint is clogged the way it was today and the three-point shot isn't hitting.
I've thought about it. First of all, great question. And hearing both of your points of view, I think I might take the opposite. I would keep on shooting threes, but I would change the methodology in which I'm generating those threes. I would use Brunson and Bridges as a screener. So they set the screen for an OG Anunoby, a Landry Shamet, even a Karl-Anthony Towns. That'd be difficult with Brunson, but you do your best. And then you have that screener, Brunson or Bridges, flash to the mid-range and then try to create there, because our guys, from what I've seen, Hart, OG, Cat, they're all good at that quick entry pass to the mid-range when the three's not there, right? They're blitzed or whatever happens, or the screen wasn't well set. They're good at lobbing that into the mid-range. Then Brunson and Bridges made a choice either put the ball on the floor or pull up. That, I think, it's like, who do you use as a screener and who are you using as a roller and who's that secondary hub on the elbow? Changing that up to where the person catching has ball handling ability and on the floor ability is different than if Shamet is catching that shot, or a Diawara, or a, I don't even know, someone else. Clarkson's pretty good. Yabusele. If those guys are catching the ball, yeah, you have very limited opportunities. Or even Towns catches it, he's going to run the traffic and probably get an offensive foul called on him because there's just too much body running in the paint and not enough control. But if you have the Brunson, Bridges being used as a screener and then on the catch off of the screen after the flash, that could generate action that makes the defense adjust. And then as they start adjusting, you start finding the holes in that defense in further possessions. You say, okay, we got that corner, left corner is open from here now because Brunson hit 2 mid-range shots. Let's keep running that play and see what happens. I think there's minor tweaks, but I would not stop shooting threes against the Heat specifically, because you're right, when they collapse from Jaquez to Wiggins, they're all really good at putting separation between the player and the rim. Especially Jaquez and Wiggins really impressed me with their defense tonight.
Yeah, they did. They killed us. Interesting point. So you're saying when those screens are happening, you're saying that's like, I know you're super technical now, guys. Are you talking about like top of the key screens or like?
Yes. Yeah, because I mean they're doing that. Everyone, I've seen just about everyone set a screen so far through 3 games, from Brunson to Hot Porty. But I think using the guard, the guy who has the on the ball ability or the dribble ability upon the catch, using them as a screener, so that if the guy fights through and he's still on the 3-point shooter, he's able to pass that shot to the mid-range. And then within the mid-range, that's where you can operate that second action, whether it's a drive or a dribble penetration, or you pull up in the mid-range. That forces the defense to adjust. Oh, now we have to watch out for the secondary action where the pass is in the mid-range, and we have to shift, whether that is a zone or the man-on-man, to accommodate for that. That's going to open up someone in the corner on the left or on the right, or in between above the break in the corner. It's going to make the defense have to adjust. That presents a different look opposed to the same ball rotation. And the way you're starting to be, oh, let's crash the corners and intercept those passes, it makes it more difficult for the defense.
Okay. I guess it depends on who's in too. It depends on who's in, because when Josh Hart's in, that doesn't quite work as well.
Or yeah, I mean,
again, which is kind of was the case today, which might explain why maybe he didn't do it.
And we're missing Deuce, and we're missing Mitchell Robinson. We have an injured Josh Hart. There's a lot of variables that are going to make that difficult. But I'm thinking in big picture, everyone's healthy, perfect scenario. I think that's very plausible because we have more ball handlers than we ever have right now. But Deuce is just really key. Deuce is key to all of these things.
Agreed. Okay, I just want to have this conversation.